Maciej Zieliński, creator of Odra framework.
So Odra framework right now it is the usable framework to write contracts. It has full support for most Casper features, and we are rolling out more and more. We hear our community because we already grown a community, and we deliver features that they need from us. We're pretty agile in it, so it happens quite quickly, which I'm very happy about it. What we are building right now and focusing is the optimization. So along our path to Odra framework, we found a lot of points where you can optimize smart contracts, and this is what we are doing. So this is not really something that people will see in terms of, oh, this is a new feature, but rather, oh, my contracts are twice as cheap as they were. So yeah, this is what we're focusing on right now. In terms of zero knowledge, there is a new version of Risk Zero, which we are working with. This is a zero knowledge framework, and they rolled out a new feature that is proving ECDSA keys inside zero knowledge that opens the whole broad range of new possibilities, and at the moment we are exploring it.
And can we tell about this moving this code from another another virtual machine to Casper virtual machine or not?
Yeah, I think we can. Okay, so what else we are working on is the Solidity. I strongly believe that the amount of code built in Solidity is very hard to replicate on any platform. That's not just for Casper, that's also Near, Polkadot, Stellar and others. And each of these platforms try to build the same set of libraries for the developers, because if you're the developer, your work looks like you start a project, you get the requirements, and the requirement is have a fungible token, have two non-fungible tokens, have a liquidity pool, have a governance with these features, and the upgradability should look like that. And on top of all of that, you just add your own piece of logic that makes your project unique. And when you build it, what you'd like to do is you just like to take those pieces that should take you one day to just gather them in one project and set up, connect them, and then you're ready to build on top of them. And this kind of experience is not yet possible because you don't have much code. Like we're having more and more code in Casper, which is good, but it's hard to get. It's hard to catch up with the community that is 7 years old, Ethereum. So the idea is to reuse Solidity. And the problem is that, of course, Solidity compiles to EVM, but our approach that we're testing right now is to transpile Solidity to Rust.
To your Odra framework?
Yeah, to our Odra framework, but we are experimenting. Sometimes we compile to very low-level Rust code because there's no need to do it with Odra, but most of the times it's Odra. And this allows us to have components, like a Solidity can be transpiled to Rust components that can be used in Rust. So you can imagine that some smart contract repositories could be like 80% Solidity, 20% Rust code, and the Solidity would be taken from another project that is already developed. And because Casper has some unique features, there is no cover for this in Solidity, so you just write 20% code in Rust to just glue them and, for example, to set up accounts, multi-sigs, and things like that. So, but we are exploring this right now, but it looks good. We will release experimental version, I think, in next month.
Okay, nice. We were yesterday at ETH Warsaw, and can you tell more about your joke about the account abstraction?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so what is so how Ethereum works? It was never intended to work like I make the transaction, but you execute it. That was always the idea. I create transaction, I sign it, I send it to the network, and that was fine. That was like a very good, simple model. But over time, as a whole blockchain community, we learned it's better to have this model a bit more complex, where I can actually do that. And also the need for multi-sigs, where it's out there, like you need multi-sigs, it's much better security, and the best is when it's baked into your account itself. So on Ethereum, there is a huge push to bring a model of accounts that has built-in multi-sig, and that allows you to execute transactions for someone else's. And what they do, they figured out how to achieve this scheme on the smart contract layer. So there was no need to include anything to the Ethereum protocol, and everything can be done on a smart contract layer. That's pretty nice that it is possible to do this. But the problem is that its cost is large. It's like like a standard transfer where was 3 times or 4 times more expensive, which is not good. And the scheme itself is quite complex. And this is interesting because on Casper, we have those 2 modes you can execute code. One is contract, which would be like a standard way of thinking about running a code, but the other one is running a code as an account. And this is this account abstraction that allows you, for example, to call multiple contracts in a one call to the blockchain, one deploy. And also Casper has built-in multisig, so that these are the tools that are much more flexible than on Ethereum, simply because they didn't want to change their protocol, because that's like very hard thing to do when you have such a large ecosystem. Every time everyone would have to adjust. But like Casper made those good decisions to include those features from start, and we're waiting for 2.0 of Casper that will reshuffle a bit those features, and hopefully it will bring us new capabilities like paying gas with another tokens and things like that.